welcome to another action-packed episode of Booking the Wrestler, ladies and gentlemen. This is about the boy, the golden boy of the, well, not the WWE, but for the YWC, Daniel Bryan. Me personally, I like him, but I don't believe he's one of the best wrestlers there is. But he was and is, if he's ever capable of going back into the ring, a good wrestler. But this is the way I'm going to book him. I'm not going to book him as he was before. That's not going to happen. I'm booking him as he is now, a man who has an injury with his neck. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, I don't want to see that one. Well, you're going to see it because wrestlers who have injured themselves, like a Steve Austin, like an Edge, and other people who have been injured and having a neck injury, have managed to still entertain us and blow our socks off. So this is how I'm going to book him. And I like to keep it as close to real life as possible. The guy is injured. And he's not cleared to wrestle. Now, I have heard conflicting information that he's no longer with the company. But they still have his image on because they want to still build some money. I don't know if he's going to get any. If he is with the company, isn't. It's very conflicting. You guys can tell me below if he is legitimately has been released from the company. As far as I heard from the Sleg Daddy, he has, but then when I checked WWE.com, he hasn't. So it's hard to tell. But this is how it's going to go. And I'm not following direct history, but I am following some. In the, let's say the end of 2014, he gets injured. Instead of like the beginning or the middle, at the end of 2014, he leaves. He manages to stay the entire 2014 route, but then he has to leave because the neck injury is bad. 2015, halfway into it, around September, he does come back, but he's not cleared to wrestle. So this is what Vince does with Triple H. They assign him to NXT as the general manager. And from there, he's going to manage NXT. The Dragon himself manages NXT, the American Dragon. He is seen on NXT. He runs NXT. He promotes NXT. He goes on television. He goes on radio. He promotes it, saying that this is my brand as the American Dragon. I am the one who is running NXT, and he's on the show. Majority of the show, he acts a lot like comparing a Kurt Angle to Daniel Bryan. They're two different animals, even though Daniel Bryan's a very good wrestler. If you stick these two together, not counting their injuries, I'm sorry, Daniel Bryan would get his ass wiped by Kurt Angle. There was only one guy I've ever known that ever could wrestle Kurt Angle so well that it was not just compelling, it wasn't just interesting, it was exciting, and that's the man who will not be named Lord Voldemort himself. Literally, I'm not allowed to say his name, but you get my point. He's the only one that could wrestle that well. But I'm not going by the wrestling, I'm going by the attitude as general managers. Kurt Angle was a great general manager before he finally went away and he said that he's going to, well, leave TNA and retire. Actually, I haven't seen TNA, but I will be eventually seeing it again. But you get my point. I want Daniel Bryan to be someone that at first isn't seen often. He basically says what he needs to say. He has a cheat sheet, even though he is pretty smart. He does know how to use his head, but I want him to be as natural as possible. Like, this isn't what I do. I'm a wrestler. So I got to do what I need to run this company, so I'm going to have a piece of paper that tells me how to make this thing work. That's what I want for Daniel Bryan. He starts out as NXT's manager. Well, general manager, I'm sorry. And he acts like a guy who's trying to be a manager when he just is a wrestler. Now, this is how it's going to end. Waiting to see next Booking a Wrestler. I'm going to promote what's going to happen with him on NXT and how he's going to be treated by the rest of the brand of the WWE and subsequently what happens after that. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace! I'm still in pain, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good.